Hey everyone, this is Brian. Make sure that you test your audio. You should be able to see my screen and hear my voice at this point. Definitely put hello in the chat. Thank you very much. Have a notebook ready. Be prepared to take some notes. With that, let's go ahead and jump right on in. You guys can see the screen, I can tell, and hopefully you're hearing my voice. Again, welcome to Trade Masters. If you're brand new to our channel, this is the best place to really begin. The world of investing can definitely feel uh, overwhelming. And that's the best way to describe it. There are charts, candles, indicators, news events, opinions, emotions, and just a whole lot of noise. And if you are trying to learn all of this while also working and taking care of your family and managing the real life responsibilities, it can definitely feel like you are stepping into a storm without any sort of clear plan. So that is exactly why Trade Masters exist. We are not here to sell hype. We're not here to sell shortcuts or emotional trading. We're here simply to help people learn the process, practice with purpose, and approach the markets with discipline and patience, wisdom, and a written plan. At Trade Masters, we believe trading is not gambling. It is a skill. And like any skill, it has to be learned, practiced, tested, and refined over time. So, if you're looking for a place that values faith, family and finance, and community, and disciplined growth, then you are definitely welcome here and you are definitely in the right place. So, what exactly is Trade Masters? At its core, I would say Trade Masters is a trading and investing education community first and foremost. Al and I talk about this all the time. Our goal is not just to show people charts or give them some another platform to stare at all day. Our goal is to truly help people become better decision makers. We teach charts and we teach the tools and we teach strategies and we talk through the market context and the market weather. But the bigger mission is really helping people slow down, manage the risk, protect the capital, think clearly, and stop treating the market like it's a casino. And that is why you will hear us say things like education before execution, or process before profit, and definitely people before platforms. Because really, the truth is, tools are going to be great help. They're helpful, but tools do not fix undisciplined trading. So at Trade Masters, I would say we want to help you build the understanding first, understanding of the structure, get some confidence to approach trading and investing with the patience that's needed, with humility, and with a real plan. That is key. Um, and so, as we look for who is Trade Masters really for, it's not for everyone. Trade Masters is built for what we call serious learners. And when we say serious, we do not mean advanced. You do not have to be an experienced trader to belong here. Beginners are welcomed. Busy people are welcome. People who have tried trading before and struggled are welcome. And what we're really looking for are individuals who are teachable or coachable. Al and I have both seen this over and over again. People usually do not struggle because they are not smart enough. They struggle because they jump into a market without a process, without a plan, and without any sort of responsibility or accountability. And maybe you're brand new and just need a starting point. And maybe you have watched videos, read books, followed alerts, tried indicators, jumped from strategy to strategy, but you still do not feel confident. Maybe you are working full time, teaching, running a business, retired, taking care of family, or just trying to learn this without putting unnecessary pressure on your finances. If that sounds like you, then Trade Masters may be a really good fit for you. We are not built for people looking for hype, shortcuts, or guaranteed results. We are built for people who want to learn, practice it, grow it, become more disciplined decision makers over time, and who really love to be around people. So, with that being said, one of the biggest shifts we want new traders to make is this: trading is not about proving you are right. And that's on my notes. We have so many traders that want to just be right. And don't get me wrong, I don't live to be wrong. Um, I want to be right as well, but that's not our key. Our key is really about making the next wise decision. Al and I have talked about this many, many times. A lot of traders get themselves in trouble because they feel like they have to be in a trade. They see movement, feel the pressure, they start convincing themselves that something is there, even when the setup has never been truly qualified. But strong trading starts with risk and understanding that risk. So before we ever think about a reward, we have to ask ourselves, what is the risk? Where's the invalidation point in our setup? Does this setup actually meet our rules that are written? And if it does not meet those rules, are we disciplined enough to do nothing and wait? And that is why we believe a setup must qualify itself before a trade is ever taken. And we teach that. Sometimes the best trade, like today, is taking the trade. And sometimes the best trade is, like today as well, just waiting. And sometimes the best trade is just walking away completely. And that is very difficult to do. At TraideMasters, we want to make sure we help people stop chasing the candles, start building a repeatable decision process. And because over time, it's the consistency that matters. Consistency does not come from being right on every trade. It actually comes from protecting your capital, following a plan, and making disciplined decisions again and again and again. So this is why discipline matters so much. And this is why trading and investing causes so much heartache. Emotion, the feelings you get, are expensive. And every trader and investor eventually learns that lesson one way or another. You can have good tools, you can have great indicators, you can have all the pieces in place, you can have great charts, you can have a good strategy. But if emotion is still making your final decision, then the account is always going to be vulnerable. There's no doubt about it. Your account is going to be vulnerable. If you feel like you've got to tinker, if you feel like I've seen this before, and so therefore it's going to be, if you're making predictions, that's emotion. So your account's going to be a vulnerable. And Al and I talk about this a lot because it is one of the most common traps that we see from all of our traders. A trader takes a loss, and instead of stopping and reviewing that plan, they immediately want to win it back. Or they see a candle moving fast, and instead of waiting for confirmation or a pullback, they chase it. Or they increase their position size because they feel like this next trade has to work. And that is not discipline. That is that pressure, that gambling sense. And at TraideMasters, we want to help you respect the market without fearing it. We do not want to chase every candle. We do not want revenge trading. We do not want oversized positions just because we feel confident. We wait for qualified setups. We follow the rules. We accept that no trade is sometimes the best trade to make. With that being said, we wait for qualified setups. We follow those rules because discipline is not what holds you back. Discipline is actually what protects you long enough to keep growing. So keep that in mind as we proceed through our presentation of how to start. Um, and discipline, I can't say enough about it. So, where should a new person actually begin? And this is where we want to keep it very, very simple. At TraideMasters, we do not want people jumping straight into live trades, alerts, or complicated tools before they understand the foundation. That is one of the reasons so many people get frustrated. They want a quick, easy start. They start with an execution before they ever have a process. And Al and I believe the better path is probably slower, but that slower path is definitely stronger. First, we want to learn the foundations, and you can do that through our live sessions. We can do one-on-ones, whatever it takes to give you guys the foundation. We're going to be here to help. Understand what makes the market work. What are markets? How price moves, and how those different asset classes have different personalities. And most importantly, what risk actually means, and why a written plan actually matters. So then we begin learning the market context. What is happening in the broader economy? What are the major currencies, indexes, commodities, or sectors in equities telling us? We do not trade in isolation. Context definitely matters. So after that, You begin learning the tools. Tools can be powerful, and they're fantastic, but only when you understand what they are is it really going to help you, and what are they helping you actually see. Then comes the actual trade plan. What qualifies your setup? Where's your stop going to be for your risk? What is your risk? Where's your target going to be? What would make the trade invalid so you don't get into a bad trade? And then what we do is practice it. And only after that do you ever begin thinking about execution. Um, that is the heart of our learning path, moving from confusion to the confidence piece. And not because someone told you what button to click or there was an alert, but because you understand why an alert was sent or why a decision makes sense. That is key. So if you're new, here's where I would begin. Do not start by hunting for the next trade. Do not start by chasing signals. Do not start by asking, what should I buy or what should I sell? Or what pair should I trade today? Or what stock is best? What's going to go up? What's going to go down? That's not what you want to ask. Start with the basics. Watch the beginner videos that are going to be in our start from here. We're going to add to them as well. Learn the language, whether it be in currency, equities, futures, options, whatever we take in and put in there, you want to learn it. Understand what people mean when they say what a trend is, what a pullback is, confirmation. What is risk? What is a stop loss? What is a target? What is proper position size? And even the simplest, what is a trade plan? Because if any of those words are not clear, then the market will feel more complicated than it really needs to feel. And before you ever risk any real money, you want to create a very simple written plan, almost one that's memorizable. It's definitely duplicatable. That plan does not have to be perfect on day one, but it should answer some basic questions like, what am I looking for? What qualifies the setup? How much am I willing to risk on that trade? In other words, how much am I willing to lose in order to gain? Am I going to be wrong on this? What could happen? And when should I just stay out? That written plan becomes your very, very important guardrail. And we can help build a foundation. We have a few trade plans ready to go. There's a video about it with using Tide Fusion. So at TraideMasters, we want you to become the kind of trader who does not just click buttons because something looks right or something looks exciting. We want you to understand what you are doing, why you're doing it, and how to protect yourself when the market does something completely unexpected, and it will. Once you've started with the basics, this channel becomes your learning path. You do not have to watch everything all at once. You do not have to figure it all out all at once. It will feel like you're drinking water from a fire hydrant for those who are beginning, but it's a very, very important foundational step. And then ask questions. That is key. That's why we're here. Start with the start here and the foundational content. That is where you begin the learning of the vocabulary, what structures are, even the mindset behind how we teach trading and investing. Then begin exploring our Hawkeye morning trade lab previews. These come from time to time. You can look at the old ones and watch what we do, but these come from time to time when we open up our members area to even non-members. So those sessions help you see how we read the market, how we think through the trade ideas, and why discipline matters before execution. These are for our day traders. Okay, these are for our day traders. For our little slower traders, swing trading is more apt to be your style. You can also watch some selected time-savvy traders, which is what I teach on Monday evenings, where we slow things down a bit. We still look at the global economy, and we spend more time on market context, swing trading ideas, and the bigger picture, which all will help in your overall trading. The goal is definitely not for you to copy every move we make. The goal is actually for you to start hearing how disciplined traders think. And over time, you will begin to recognize for yourself that we are not trying to force trades. We're not chasing every candle. We're not creating any sort of hype. We're actually trying to help you think clearly, trade patiently, and grow with structure, which lasts a whole lot longer than get rich quick. So follow the learning path, start with the basics, watch how we think, and let the process build your confidence step by step. And then we also want to be very clear about what TraideMasters is not. We are not about hype. We are not about guarantees. We have people constantly, well, show me your guarantee. We don't have any guarantees. And we are not about using shortcuts. Our content is educational. It is designed to help you think better, prepare better, and trade with more discipline and more risk awareness. Protect that capital. We are not promising fast money. We are not promising that trading is going to be easy, and we do not want anyone blindly following any sort of alert, signal, or just taking a trade that they do not understand. That is extremely important to us. A alert and signal are great, but without understanding the context, it's gambling. And we do not want to cause anybody to lose because they don't understand. Because real growth in trading, after decades of doing this, does not come from the hype. And you see it all over the place. It actually comes from your education, what you're going to put into it, the process, the patience, and having personal responsibility, wanting that personal responsibility. And at the end of the day, basically every trader is responsible for their own decisions. When you point a finger, it needs to be back at yourself. Our goal is not to create dependence upon us. We want to, on the opposite, we really want to create independence for you. Our goal is to help you become wiser, more disciplined, more prepared, and more capable of making sound decisions for yourself. And that does not necessarily mean you got to spend hours on the day looking at charts or hours watching videos. That's not necessarily true. So, TraideMasters is all about community. We care about each individual person behind the screen, not just the trade on the chart. We're here to help. Our community is here to help. We have grown a community of people who actually care. We want this to be a place where people can ask honest questions. You may think they're dumb, but an honest question is great. Keep learning, encouraging each other, not with false positivity, but actually encouraging each other, and grow with humility and meekness over time. Because trading can become very isolating if you ever focus on just performance, or you focus only on results, trying to prove for yourself. The cool thing is when you pour into others, they pour into you, and you end up growing. That is not. We don't want a culture of where that's the opposite, where you feel isolated. We want a culture where there is a community that you can fall back on. We want a community that's shaped by patience, definitely kindness in our world of chaos, accountability, and biblical stewardship. Now, our faith is important to us. For us, faith, family, and finances, what matters. Trading is not supposed to become our idol. It should be handled with wisdom, self-control, and having a clear perspective. And one of the things we hope happens here is that people do more than just consume information. We actually want them to learn it, live it, and eventually our goal is to have those same individuals help other newbies grow just like they did. That is what our community looks like. And that is a big part of what TraideMasters is all about. So here's your starting plan for the first 7 days. First, subscribe to the channel here on YouTube and watch the Start Here videos all the way through. Then choose one beginner playlist and work through it slowly. Do not rush, and we'll be adding from time to time. Do not skip around too much. Just start building your foundation of understanding one lesson at a time. And as you watch, keep a notebook. That's always helpful. If there's a nugget that pops in, write it down. The key is write down 3 takeaways before you ever place a trade. What did you learn? What made sense? What do you think you need to keep reviewing? And that simple habit is going to help you really slow down things and start building a real understanding. Then you can come back, watch a market breakdown, and begin practicing in simulated environment or with a very, very small risk of live capital. The goal for your first week is not to prove anything at all other than being faithful. The goal is to begin learning the learning process, understanding our language, because we do say different things. We hear about support and resistance. When we call it supply and demand, they're all the same. So you're going to learn those languages and building confidence the right way. It is not going to be fast to learn. But once you do, you'll be satisfied that you have a skill that you've learned for a lifetime. If you will do that, you will already be off to a much better start than most new traders. Absolutely. So we are glad you are here. Start here, grow with us, and take the process seriously. If TraideMasters feels like the kind of trading and investing education community that you have been looking for, definitely subscribe to the channel, watch the foundational playlist, and leave a comment that says start so we know you are beginning the journey with us. We will provide you membership access so you can have some information about that. You can visit us at trademasters.com. And remember, TradeMasters has an AI in it. Well, little did we know the reason for that 10 years ago. We now know the importance of AI. So welcome to TradeMasters, and we hope to see you in the next video.